Hello, this is Sandra, and welcome to our leadership development series, Exploring Self-Awareness. This is from the 5 Domains of Leadership from the Oasis Leadership Development and Consulting Group. Welcome to the Sanderella Leadership Training YouTube channel. I'm Sandra, and I'm here to guide you through this interesting topic from our 5 domains on self-awareness. I'm a leadership and management consultant. I have experience many years with the government, private sectors. I'm an executive coach. I work with organizations. I'm very much interested in leadership development. I'm a trainer and a mentor. I have an active website, also a YouTube channel, and a podcast development sector as well. So here we are, the 5 domains of leadership. Our group, the Oasis Leadership and Development Consulting Group, had developed 5 domains of leadership because we felt it was really important to get a bit of a foundation for leaders when they were looking at exploring new ways of improving how they're leading, their presence, how they are connecting and engaging with others, and how they're able to inspire others, their teams, and collaborate in their communities and their different organizations. So we looked at 5 main areas. Self-awareness is what we will be speaking about today. And self-awareness, of course, is important to understand ourselves and understand the triggers that we might be impacted by, and to find some balance within our life and our work. The next stage is motivation. Then there's emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and building successful teams. We will be going through these different sections later on in our YouTube channel, but today we'll just focus on self-awareness. So the important thing about self-awareness is that we recognize that our work and also our home life tends to preoccupy us, sometimes to a point that we're not giving the best time for ourselves, for our self-awareness and our self-care. So this episode is just about looking at ways that how we can really improve that. And just a quick poll, we just wanted to check to see how many hours a week do you actually devote to self-awareness or self-care? You might want to share that in our comment section or just think about it yourself. One of the interesting pillars of our self-awareness model is to look at our rest, our relaxation, and our reflection. It's called the 3 R's. And here in this collage of photos, we have people doing many activities. We have someone who's gardening, we have people who are in the desert on a camel ride, we have a very tranquil kind of image of some shiny rocks and water, and maybe it's a sunrise or sunset. Then we have an adult and a youth, perhaps that could be a parent or someone giving back to the community. We have the adventurous side, of course, if you're looking at hot air balloons and just, going through this interesting valley and looking at the world from a different perspective. Or if you want to look at a solitary walk up a hill and just enjoying nature and just, seeing what might be beyond the rock formation above. So these are all interesting things. So we're just curious to know, what kinds of things do you do for your self-care? And do any of these images actually resonate for you? Take a moment out and write maybe 3 or 4 words of what are the key things that might really move you to really improve your self-care. What are the things that you haven't been doing, or the things that you'd like to do more of? So now we come to the next piece of self-care and self-awareness, just trying to find the deeper meaning of what that is for us. And it's always a personal point of view. Not everyone has the same sense. We may share some similarities, but there may be some ways of doing things that will impact us even at a deeper level. So some people enjoy making time for exercise. Some people like to journal write. Some people enjoy an impromptu road trip, going to the park, reading, writing, playing with your children, just doing something different. So we want to look at these activities that are important for you, that you feel that you get the strength and wisdom and sense of calmness for yourself. And you need to highlight that in your calendars as your protected time. You need to commit to spend that time to do those particular items. You need to look at celebrating your time, because often we don't always celebrate all of those wonderful things that we do. So we want to do that. And ask people for assistance if we need to get to that point. If you're finding that the stress, or you are distressed about a lot of different things that are happening at work or home life, those kinds of things, and you're finding that trying to introduce self-care methods is not really helping you, you might need to look at your mental health a little more in-depthly, to go and speak to your doctor, to go and check out your therapist, to speak to someone, because it's important to be able to look at these things, get some perspective, and make some changes that will be healthy for you and that will energize you and keep you grounded and in line with where you want to be. So finally, we're looking at this wonderful photo here of the ocean. And so perhaps we're on top of a hill, and in order to get down to that wonderful patch of sand, the hill is likely pretty rocky and a little steep in areas, but we're making it all the way down. And then of course we're having to pass through this green band of probably there's lots of seaweed in there, or aquatic creatures, and it's probably fairly intense or dense in that particular location. And of course we want to get to that patch of sand, and when we do, we're happy about it because it's beautiful. We want to pitch our tent, we want to lay down, we want to enjoy it. And nearby, of course, is the ocean. Of course, you're in the ocean there, but we're talking about the waves that are coming in, and we're talking about the air and the beautiful feel with the sun coming down, and you're just feeling really good that you made it from the top and came to that particular spot. Perhaps at that point you're saying it would be nice to have a sailboat so you could go and venture a little bit further up the coast to just kind of take a look to see from another vantage point what that part of the world looks like. And so the ocean, of course, we know it ebbs and flows. It's very much coming in and out, in and out. And it's the same thing with our leadership journey as well, our experience. We probably started off and it was fairly rocky or rough. You had to learn so many things, you were tested, you had to meet so many people, you had to inspire people, you had to do a lot of reporting, you had to become an expert in certain areas. You were always trying to upgrade yourself, and even during times when things weren't going so well, you felt the pressure as well, And so leaders find that they can celebrate as well as feel the other side of the reality and try and lead others to make good decisions. So sometimes the water, just getting back to the ocean, gets a little rough, choppy. And so what do we do then is that we need to have the right equipment or support systems, a shield, an anchor, something that will help us keep us afloat so that we can weather the storm. Very much the same similarity with the leadership experience. It does get rough sometimes, and it's unpredictable. And there are people who may support you, and there may be people who might try to sabotage what you're trying to do. So as leaders, we want to understand that things will come and go. There's always a cycle, it's always moving, and that we have to, either stay with the current or we need to push against the current sometimes to get where we want to be, and encourage others as well to explore and to be mindful of others and to engage with others. So we just want to leave you with that, to think about that, and see what you might want to do now as you're making a plan, hopefully, for your self-care. What are the key things that you feel are important for you, and where do you want to be? Try and envision that and make that plan. It doesn't have to be anything that's long and enduring. It could be in measurable, reachable goals. And maybe that's something that you might want to do over a 6-month period, and try and see how you can juggle that with work and life and anything else that pops up. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. We would encourage you, of course, to lead your development and to check more of our offerings. We have our website and at sandralla.com, and there's also a contact page there. So at any time, if you'd like to make contact with our team, certainly be encouraged to do so. We have our YouTube channel, Sandralla Leadership Training, that will be populating different sorts of information on YouTube over the next while, and we would certainly encourage you to check it out. We would love to hear from you, any of your comments, also to subscribe and to like our YouTube channel. We have a podcast that also provides information, more distilled information about different viewpoints with regards to leadership. And our agenda here is to support you to look at different alternatives, to look at different ways of doing things. Maybe it may not be textbook specific, but it's just a cycle and an experience. And so we hope that you've enjoyed today's session on self-awareness, and we look forward to you participating in our next session on motivation. Thank you.